In last class, come to our class. In last class, we have discussed regarding the pulse input. We have discussed regarding the pulse input. Okay, how the output waveform when you apply the pulse signal to the inputs, and what will be the output voltage when you apply the pulse. We have seen. Today class we will discuss regarding the square wave. Today class we will discuss regarding the square wave. Okay, that means this is actual square. Actually, at a high pass circuit, I didn't take the actual square wave. Okay, this is actual correct square wave. Here I note down the correct square wave. Actual square wave is like this. Okay, it is a train of pulses. Okay, there won't be any zero line. Zero line will be below. Okay, this is zero line. Okay, I think so. You are observing the zero line. This is your zero line. Okay, it is below your square wave. Below the wave. That means it is your reference wave. Okay, reference line. From the reference line, you are going to having certain voltage in the shape of pulses. Therefore, this one we are going to treat it as an square wave. It is having two magnitudes, that is V dash and V double dash. Okay, with respect to the zero line. Okay, this V dash is with respect to the zero level, and V double dash also with respect to the zero level. Okay, that means you can take it as a 5 volts, and it may be some 2 volts. Okay, therefore peak to peak you may have the 3 volts. Okay, like this. This 5 volts, if I set, means this 5 volts is with respect to, that means you have connected a voltmeter like this. Okay, with respect to zero line. Okay, one is connected to zero difference and another is connected to the peak. Similarly, here you have connected a voltmeter. Okay, therefore here it is going to get 2 volts with respect to zero line. Okay, this is regarding your square wave. Okay, the square wave will be like this. Okay, zero reference level and a sequence of pulses, a sequence of pulses. Okay, there may be a pulses here also, a sequence of pulses like this. There is no starting point and no ending point. Like this pulse, okay, like this square wave, if we apply for a low pass circuit, then what about the output waveform we will see. Okay, actually we know that initially the capacitor won't changes. Okay, initially the capacitor won't change instantaneously. The voltage across capacitor won't changes instantaneously. Depending on, here I have taken three conditions. Okay, depending on the time constant. First one is nothing but the time constant is very less. Second one is time constant is equal to TP or something. A time constant may be a medium. Yeah, third one is time constant is very large. Okay, time constant is very large. In this case, okay, how our output voltage is going to be changed. Okay, in these three cases. Okay, when our input voltage starts suddenly from zero. Okay, when it starts not zero, suddenly it changes. There is a sudden change at certain interval. Okay, a certain time period. I may call it as in zero. Okay, because I'm taking it as a starting time period. Okay, therefore, when it rises suddenly, output voltage is going to maintain constant. Okay, therefore, because before it is maintaining at this level. Okay, that it be some A level. Okay, therefore it will maintain at same level. It will maintain at same level A. Okay, it will maintain at same level A. As the after the input voltage is maintained constant, our capacitor slowly charges and output voltage slowly rises depending upon the time constant. Depending upon the time constant. If the time constant is very small, quickly it reaches to our input voltage V dash. Quickly it will reaches to the our input voltage V dash. If the time constant is very small, then the output voltage quickly reaches to the our input voltage V dash and then maintain at constant level V dash. If the time constant is somewhat greater, then it won't reaches to the V dash. It may be some voltage V1. It may be maintained at some voltage V1 for this one also. Okay, the time constant is very large. Time constant is very large. Therefore, waveform won't reaches to the V dash. Won't reaches to the V dash, and it will be somewhere. It will be somewhere of your voltage. Okay, and then after at this point, you can take this point as T1, a time period T1. At time period T1, our input voltage falls suddenly. Input voltage fall suddenly. Therefore, the capacitor won't fall. Okay, it will maintain the constant level at this. Therefore, capacitor will be here itself. Okay, it won't change instantaneously. And then after it is maintaining a constant voltage, and then after it is maintaining a constant voltage, some V double dash. Therefore, capacitor wants to reach to V double dash depending upon the time constant. Depending upon the time constant, it will reaches to the V double dash. That means from V dash slowly it starts discharging and reaches to the V double dash voltage depending upon the time. If the time constant is very small, quickly it reaches to V double dash. If the time constant is large, then it takes more time. It takes more time to reach to the V double dash. Takes the more time to reach to the V double dash. In this case also, the time constant is very large. Therefore, it takes the more time to reach to the. It won't reaches to V double dash. If you see, I will remove my drawing. If you see here in third waveform, there is a small gap here. Therefore, the waveform won't reaches to V dash. This is V dash. Okay. Therefore, it won't reaches to V dash. It may be a certain level. Okay. It may be taken as some V2. Here also, it is taken as V2. If the time constant is very small, the voltage may reaches to the V double dash. Okay, our input voltage. What is our input voltage? V double dash. It reaches to the our final input voltage. Okay, okay. I think so. You are following the class. Okay, when the time constant is very small, it reaches to the input voltage V dash, input voltage V dash and V double dash. When the time constant is very large, it won't reaches to the V dash, but it may be maintained at a certain level. Okay, at V1 and V2. Okay, therefore, depending upon the time constant, it is going to change. Okay, depending on the time constant, we are going to change our output voltage. Has similar to the pulse. Okay, has similar pulse means up to here you have studied. Yeah, up to this portion you have studied for the pulse. When input rises suddenly, output will also slowly rises and reaches to the input voltage depending upon the time constant. And when input falls, the output also falls slowly depending on the time constant. Okay, again second cycle starts. Again second cycle starts, same discussion. Okay, like this the square wave. Okay, the output of the square wave is going to be respond. Here you may, when you see this diagram in second diagram, you may find that a line here. Okay, you may get confused why this line is. Okay, why we had they have drawn this line. Okay, this line. Okay, this is nothing but a to in next derivation. Okay, next derivation we require this line. Okay, that means what he want to say means if the time constant is very small, it may stops at V1. It may starts at V1 and starts decreasing. Okay, if we allow it, final voltage it is going to reach is V dash. Okay, because in our formula we are going to having the formula for finding output voltage. Okay, Vf minus, which you have seen in previous class, Vf minus V initial. There we want to know the Vf value. Vf value means finally to which voltage the capacitor is going to charge. Okay, actually if the time constant or everything is sufficient, the capacitor will charges to V dash. Okay, capacitor will charges to V dash and then it will start decreasing and again it charges to the V double dash. Again it charges to the V double dash. But due to the time constant is very large, it won't reaches to V dash. It may stop at V1. It may stop at V1. Okay, your next derivation while we are deriving the output voltage, for this point they had given this line. Okay, this line they in order to indicate that capacitor would be charged to this level. Okay, but it is not possible due to the time constant. This level, if you draw a straight line, it will be exactly equal to this line. That means this is a V dash line. Okay, it will be V dash level. That's why to show that one they had taken this line. Otherwise, no need to draw this line. Okay, no need to draw this line. Capacitor reaches to V1 and again it starts falling. Okay, because of time constant equal to T. Okay, therefore this is for having three different time constants. By using three different time constant, we have drawn these waveforms. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we will go for the derivation. Okay, how we are going to derive means you have to remember. Okay, you have to while before going to derivation, you have to remember that V final voltage, V initial voltage. Okay, and what different time periods, different time periods. These things, three things you have to remember. Okay, that means if you start from here, if you start starting from here, our initial voltage. Okay, if you take this waveform, here the initial voltage is V2. Initial voltage is V2, and it may reaches finally. Final voltage will be nothing but a V dash. Okay, finally it may reaches to the V dash, but due to time constant, it may be stops at V1. But if we allow it, it may reaches to the V dash. Therefore, for the time period T, which is 0, time with T is greater than 0 and less than T1, less than T1. That means in between these two intervals. Okay, in this interval. Okay, in this interval, if you want to find out the output voltage, that means I am going to finding out the VO1. Okay, I am finding the VO1. I am finding the VO1. This voltage. I am finding the VO1. That is nothing but between the some 0 instant and T1 instant. Okay, and T1 instant. This voltage I am going to find. Okay, therefore, in order to find this voltage, we want to know the our formula, standard formula, output voltage. Our voltage across capacitor VC can be written as once again recalling it, V final minus minus of V final minus V initial into e power minus t by RC, minus t by RC. Okay, minus t by RC. This is your final output. That means you want to know the VF, V initial and time period. Okay, these things you have to note down. We are at t equal to T1. Okay, t equal to T1. What will be the initial voltage? Initial voltage is nothing but for this VO1 we are finding means initial voltage is nothing but a V2 and final voltage is nothing but a V dash. Okay, and for this portion that is VO2 for this portion. Okay, for VO2 initial voltage capacitor is initially at V1. Capacitor is initially at V1 and finally it may reaches to the V double dash. Okay, final voltage that is V double dash. Okay, it may be reaches to the V double dash, not V2. Okay, why we are getting at V2 means due to time constant. If time constant is sufficient, finally it may reaches to the V double dash voltage. If the time constant is sufficient, the capacitor will charge to the V double dash. Due to the time constant is very large, it may stops at V2. It may stops at V2. Therefore, final value means finally at what level the capacitor is going to charge. Capacitor is going to charge to the V double dash. That means we have to find out the V2 or VO2. The initial voltage is V1 and final voltage is V double dash. And time period will be T2 or T1 plus T2. Total time period if you take it T1 plus T2. Otherwise you can place the T2. In order to get the VO1, initial voltage is V2 and final voltage is V dash. Final voltage is V dash. In order to find out the VO1. These information you have to keep in mind. Okay, right, we are going for next slide. We won't see this waveform. Therefore, you have to keep it in mind. What is the initial voltage for finding the VO1? What is the final voltage for finding the VO1? Similarly, what is the initial voltage for finding the VO2 and final voltage for finding the VO2? Okay, you have to keep in mind. Okay, therefore now I am moving to next slide. That is nothing but derivation. Okay, deriving the output voltage. Okay, deriving the output voltage. Now you will see that. Okay, here I have written VO1 directly. VO1 is nothing but a final voltage. Okay, final voltage is nothing but a V dash. Final voltage is nothing but a capacitor. You suppose this is the pulse waveform which we have seen previously. Capacitor starts here and it may finally reaches to the V dash. Okay, if the time constant is very small, finally it may reaches to the V dash voltage. Okay, therefore final voltage is nothing but a V dash minus final voltage, that is V dash minus initial voltage. Initially it is at V2 level. Initially it is at V2 level, which you have seen previously. Therefore initially it is at V2 dash into e power minus t by RC. Time period I will substitute later. Okay, therefore I think so how we have to get VO1. Okay, similarly I am writing the VO2. Okay, VO2 is nothing but next time period. Okay, between the this time period. Okay, therefore this is nothing but a T2 time period. That is total time period is T minus T1. Okay, so that you may get T2. Okay, total time period is nothing but a T. This positive pulse which may have the T1. Okay, this may be a T2. Therefore, this T2 is nothing but a T minus T1. That's why I have taken the time period as T minus T1. Okay, T minus T1. Okay, now what about the initial voltage and final voltage? Initially it is at V1. Initially it is at here. Okay, initially it is at V1. Initial voltage is V1 and finally the capacitor will reaches to the our input voltage V double dash. Finally the capacitor will may reaches to the our final voltage V double dash. Okay, therefore V double dash minus V double dash minus V1 into e power minus of t minus. This is nothing but a t2. Directly you can take the t2 otherwise. Okay. The t minus t1 by rc. This is nothing but a VO2, which you will see once again. I will go to previous slide. Now you will get the idea. Therefore, I have find out this VO1 and this VO2. These two I have find out. Okay, that is nothing but this is your initial voltage and this is your final voltage. Final voltage is V dash. Okay, similarly this is your initial voltage and final voltage is nothing but a V double dash. Final voltage is nothing but a V double dash. Okay, this is for the time period T2 and this is for time period T1. Okay, these two we had derived in the next slide. Okay, therefore the output. Now I think so you have understand how we had get these two equations, this equation and this equation. Okay, now we have taken at t equal to t1. Okay, that means exactly at t equal to t1. What about our input voltage? Input voltage directly our output voltage. Output voltage reaches to certain level V1. Okay, this is at time period t1. Okay, at time period t1 our output voltage is at V1. Okay, simply recall the waveform. Okay, therefore, when it is at T1, our output VO1 is nothing but a V1. If we substitute in this equation, we may get VO1 is nothing but a V1, and instead of time period, I am going to substituting T1. Instead of time period, I am going to substituting T1, and then I had multiplied. Okay, this e power is nothing but a multiplied. I had taken V1 as common. Okay. V dash as common. If I take V dash as common means 1 minus e power minus t1 by rc. Okay, into V2 into this e power minus t by rc. Okay, simply I have taken V dash as a common. Okay, similarly at VO2 is nothing but a V2. Okay, that means in the next cycle. If you see the next cycle, this input voltage reaches to the some voltage V2, at time period. That is nothing but this is nothing but total time period t, t1 plus t2. At the time period nothing but a t, capital T. Okay, instead of capital T I have taken t1 plus t2. That is t1 is this time period and this is at t2. Okay, this is at t2. Therefore at t1 plus t2 our output voltage reaches to the V2. Therefore my output voltage is nothing but a V2 and time period is nothing but a t1 plus t2. Yeah, I have substituted in this equation. I have instead of V2, I have VO2. I have taken V2 instead of T. I have taken T1 plus T2. Therefore, T1 gets cancelled. T1 gets cancelled. You may have the T2 here. T2. Yeah, and here also simply I have taken V double dash as common. Next step on was simple simplification. Okay, simple simplification. Once if you go through this derivation, easily you can understand. Okay, simply I am substituting V1. Okay, I am substituting V1 which I have derived here. Okay, I am substituting V1 in V2. Okay, this is V2 equation. Okay, in V2 equation I am substituting the V1. This equation I am substituting here. Similarly in V2. Okay, in V2 I am substituting this equation. Okay, I am substituting this equation. Okay, I am substituting the V2 in equation V1 and I have V1 in equation V2. Okay, if I substitute both, you may get these equations. Okay, simple simplifications. Okay, simple simplifications. It won't be much difficult. Simply here, here I write that for V1 I have written. Okay, V2 I have written directly. For V1, simply instead of V2 I have taken the V1. Okay, instead of V2 I have taken this equation. I have taken. Okay, V double dash into 1 minus e power t2 by rc plus V1 into e power t2 by rc into e power t1 by rc. And then if I take the LCM, okay, if I take the simplification, I may get this expression. Okay, similar to this expression. Similarly, you may get V2 expression also. Okay, so that you may get V1 and V2. If we assume that it is a symmetrical square wave, that is positive and negative cycles are equal, then time period will be exactly equal. That is T1 plus T1 equal T2 equal to exact half of the time period. Okay, these are simple simplifications. Okay, it won't be much difficult once you go through this slide as PPT. You can easily understand this derivation. Okay, similarly symmetrical means the for V1 dash equal to minus V2 dash, since it is a symmetrical waveform. Symmetrical waveform means positive if it is at 5 volts, the negative will be also at minus 5 volts. Okay, both, that means V dash, I have taken this as V dash, this one has V double dash. Both will be equal in magnitude, but simply they will be change in sign. Simply there will be a change in sign. Therefore, V1 dash equal to, why we have taken all these means simply it is a symmetrical waveform. If we assume it is a symmetrical waveform, that is equal to half of the voltages. Okay, if we substitute that these values, if we substitute these values in V1 and V2, okay, we may get a new equations. Okay, new equation. Those are nothing but a V1 is this equation, and we may, and if we further simplify this equation, finally you may get V2 by tan hx. Why we are taking all this simplification means in order to represent in terms of trigonometry. Okay, we know that in trigonometry we know that tan hx formula. Tan hx is nothing but a e power 2x minus 1 divided by e power 2x plus 1. Okay, here x is nothing but a this one. Here x is nothing but a t by 2 rc. Okay, t by 2 rc. Okay, this may be represented in terms of 2x. Okay, this is going to represent it in terms of 2x. Okay, and if we make a simplification, finally we may get as V1 this one and V2 this one. Okay, V2 is nothing but a symmetrical waveform, therefore we may get V2 is nothing but a minus V1. Okay, where x is 1 by 4 RC. If you substitute instead of 1 by 4, because I want to get 2x, I am multiplying this equation with 2. I am multiplying this by 2 and divided by 2. Yes, therefore 2t by 4 RC you may get 2t by 4 RC. So that this t by 4 RC, t by 4 RC is nothing but a x. T by 4 RC is nothing but a x. Okay, therefore it is in the form of 2 into x. Okay, where x is nothing but a t by 4 RC. T by 4 RC. Okay, if you take this one, so that it will be in standard form of your tan x. Okay, it will be standard formula of your tan x. It is very simple derivation. Okay, simplification. Okay, once go through it. If you want to understand, I will explain step by step once again. Okay, therefore this is nothing but t, not 1. This is nothing but a t. Okay, x equal to t by 4 hours. T by 4 hours. If you substitute, you may get V1 and V2 values. Okay, in terms of tan. In terms of tan. Otherwise, if you feel any difficulty for this derivation, no need to write in terms of tan. It is not necessary. Okay, simply you can stop here also. V1 and V2. Okay, simply find out the V1 and V2. Okay, it is further simplified and we had derived into tan. Okay, to get a shortcut voltage. Okay, in order to remember the output voltage, we have simplified it. Otherwise, these are the final voltages. V1 and V2 we have derived here. Okay, we can stop here also. But in exam, if in key, if they have mentioned the in terms of tan, okay, they may cut 1 or 2 marks. Okay, they won't give the full marks. They may cut the 1 or 2 marks. Otherwise, if in examination, if they have mentioned these voltages, okay, that means when we went to spot, okay, they may provide the key. In the key, the solution may be in terms of tan or in terms of these final standard equations. Okay, we can't say any how it will be. Depending on that, the value while we are validating our paper, we may reduce 1 or 2 marks. Okay, therefore, in key itself, they have mentioned these voltages means you may get full marks. Yeah, if they have mentioned this tan x like this, they have mentioned, we may lose 1 or 2 marks. That's the problem. Therefore, better to learn this one also. Okay, simplify these equations. Very easy. Simply multiply these values. Okay, multiply these values so that you may get this expression. Okay, if we have a positive or negative, it may be cancelled. Terms will be cancelled, and finally you may get this tan x formula. Okay, therefore this is regarding to your sine wave. Okay, output voltage, because our derivation was the output voltage of a sine wave. Okay, once again, in order to know the sine wave output voltage, you have to take this. I have taken this third wave. Okay, this third wave I have taken. Okay, in examination you have to draw it separately. This waveform you have to draw it again here, and from this you have to derive it. Okay, from this you have to derive it. Otherwise, you have to mention like this in figure C. Okay, in figure 1.6C. Okay, this is the 1.6. I have mentioned 1.6. Okay, this is the C. Yes, C waveform. Okay, therefore that is nothing but this output waveform and RC equal to T. Yeah, I have derived the output voltage by considering this waveform. Okay, therefore you have to mention like this and you have to start derivation. Okay, this is regarding to your square wave. If you have any doubts regarding the square wave, you can ask. Is there any doubts? You can make it a chart if you have any doubts regarding the derivation or regarding the output voltage. Okay. Yeah, meanwhile, we will start the next one, that is ramp input. Okay, next voltage, that is ramp input. Okay, already in high pass we have seen for a pulse and for a step input or for a square input. First we have discussed the output voltage and then we have derived the output voltage equation. But for ramp and exponential, first we have derived the output voltage and then we have seen the waveform, and then last from the output equation we have seen the waveform. Okay, in same fashion here also for ramp and exponential, first we will derive the output voltage. Okay, and then we will see the output waveform, and then we will see the output waveform. Same way. Okay, as similar to your high pass circuit. Therefore, here we had here we had considered the ramp signal, that is alpha t. Okay, already you know that ramp signal is defined as alpha t for t greater than 0. Okay, therefore, if you take the Laplace transform, Laplace transform for t is nothing but 1 by s square. Alpha is a constant, therefore we can write outside. Laplace transform for t is nothing but 1 by s square. Okay, therefore this is Laplace transform of your input. Okay, similarly, we know the transfer function for a high pass circuit. Okay, if you see the high pass circuit like this, it will be. Okay, the transfer.
Hi, sir.
Okay, fine. The transfer function for high pass. The transfer function for high pass is nothing but a parallel branch. Parallel branch is nothing but 1 by Cs. 1 by Cs divided by total impedance. That is R plus 1 by Cs. Okay, this is somebody has raised the hand. Okay, 242. What is your doubt? 242.
Nothing, sir.
Okay, then fine. You had raised the hand. That's right. Okay, fine. If we have an, we know the transfer function. Okay, transfer function for n low pass circuit, that is nothing but 1 by Cs plus R plus 1 by Cs. Okay, this is your transfer function, that is nothing but output by input. If I take the input here, in this side, that means LHS we input into 1 by Cs into R plus 1 by Cs. Okay, therefore this is our output voltage. Okay, output voltage. Okay, here we know that Laplace transform for input is nothing but a alpha into s square, alpha into s square. Therefore, I have substituted instead of vi, we have taken alpha by s square, alpha by s square into, I have making the simplification. That is, if I take the LCM, RCS plus 1, RCS, CS get cancelled. Therefore, 1 by 1 plus RCS. Okay, and if we take the RC as common, it may be converted into our standard form. Okay. For this one, I am going for the partial factors. Already you know that how we are going for how we are going to write the partial factors. Mainly we have the three types. Okay, three types of partial factors. I won't go in detail. Here, first form is if suppose our expression is some 1 by s plus a. If in this form, you may write that a by s plus a. Okay, a by s plus a. If our expression may have in this form s square divided into s plus a, s square into s plus a, then you may write as some a by, I think so you may remember these partial factors. Okay, if you forget, simply I am recalling that one, a by s plus a by s plus b by s square plus c by plus c by s plus a plus c by s plus a, and third form is nothing but a 1 by some s into s square plus 2 as plus some 10. Okay, that means this is nothing but expression. Okay, ax plus x square plus y plus c, like that. If you have in this form, simply for s you may write that a by s plus for this one, that means for a polynomial expression you may write it as bs plus some c divided by that expression, s square plus that expression. Okay, like that you have a three models. You have a three models for the partial factors. Simple pole, you may call it simple pole, s plus a into s plus b. so that you may have an a by s plus a plus b by s plus b. Okay, if we have a poles at origin, okay, that means s square s cube. You may write as a by s plus b by s square. If we have a cube means we have a, you may write as c by s cube. Okay, like that you may write. If we have a polynomial expression like this, you may take the some polynomial expression. Okay, like that you are going to derive your output. Like that you are going to write the partial factors. Okay, therefore this is also in the second form we have. Therefore this can be written as some a by s, a by s plus b by s square plus c by s plus 1 by r, s plus 1 by r, 1 by rc, 1 by rc. Therefore, this is your partial factors form. Okay. For this one, you have to find out ABC values. ABC values you have to find out. Okay. I have taken directly this may be, if you solve it, I have written direct answers. A value has minus rc square, B value is plus rc, C value is plus rc square. I think so you know how to find out the ABC values. I am not deriving once again. Once you try it, if you won't get these values, inform me. I will solve it. Okay. Therefore, these are the ABC values. Okay. By taking the partial factors, you may get this expression. Okay. For this one, if you take the partial factors, you may get this expression. For this one, if you take the inverse Laplace transform, okay, you may get our output voltage in terms of time. Okay, this is in terms of frequency, in terms of S domain. Generally, we may have in time domain. Therefore, for time domain, you have to take the inverse Laplace transform. Okay, inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s, that is nothing but a 1. 1 by s square is nothing but a t. Okay, 1 by s plus a is nothing but a e power minus at, where a is nothing but 1 by rc. Like that, we may go for the inverse Laplace transform for this expression. Okay, if you go inverse Laplace transform directly, see here if you take the 1 by this is 1 by s. 1 by s is nothing but a 1. Therefore, rc and rc get cancelled. Okay, you may have alpha rc. The first term is minus alpha rc you may have. Here into t. Therefore, here you may get rc get cancelled and you may get alpha t here. Second term is alpha t. Here you may have the rc get cancelled. You may have the alpha rc into e power minus t by a, e power at. A is nothing but 1 by rc. Therefore, you may have e power minus. Otherwise, I may write here. For the first term, this rc and square will be get cancelled. 1 by s is nothing but a 1. Therefore, you may have the first term has minus alpha rc. This is your first term. And the second term, rc get cancelled. S square, 1 by s square is nothing but Laplace transform is t. Therefore, alpha into t you may have. Alpha into t. This is your second term. And third term also, rc and square will be get cancelled. So that you may have the alpha rc. Alpha rc into e power minus a. A is nothing but 1 by rc. Therefore, t by rc. T by rc. This is first term, second term, third term. So finally, you may have the three terms. Okay, that is this one. The first term is minus alpha rc, alpha t, alpha rc into minus e power k2. This is your output expression. If you take the inverse Laplace transform for previous equation, you may get this expression. Okay. Therefore, in this expression, you have taken alpha as common. You have taken the alpha as common. Okay. So that this is your final output voltage. Final output voltage. Okay. In this output, if you remember the high pass circuit. Okay. Once you derive the output voltage, and then after what you have done, you have taken the condition. Time constant is very large, very small. The time constant is very small and the time constant is very large. RC is very large. Okay, we have taken the two conditions. Once if you recall it, your high pass circuit, same way you have derived. Okay, and then you have derived the waveform. We have drawn the waveform where time constant is very small and time constant is very large. We have derived the output waveforms. So similar, this is the time constant RC. RC is very small. Okay, if the time constant is very small, that is first case. Okay, case 1. This is nothing but a case 1. Okay, for case 1, time constant is very small. When the time constant is very small, means RC value is very small. Once the e power minus t can be written as 1 by e power t by RC. Minus means that is nothing but 1 by. Therefore, 1 by e power t RC. This value is very small, means e power this t by RC value is very large. Because RC is very small, T value is increasing, that is 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second. RC is very small. Therefore, the total value is going to be increased. T by RC value going to be increased. E power large values. As the e power large values means 1 by large value. As the power is increasing, the total value is going to be increased. Therefore, denominator is going to be increasing. As denominator is increasing, total value gets decreased. Therefore, this value will be very small. When the time constant is very small, e power minus t by RC value is very small, and we can neglect it to 0, and we can make it 0. Okay, because time constant is very small. I think so you have to understand why I have taken it as 0. Because time constant is very small means the total value is going to be very large. 1 by very large value. That is nothing but a very small value. We can neglect. If you make it value 0 means this term is going to be 0. If this term goes to 0, then you may have the output expression has only this term. That is alpha t. Well, output is nothing but alpha t minus alpha RC. Alpha RC. Where RC is the time constant which is very small. Therefore, this value will be also very small. This value will be also very small value. Therefore, alpha t is nothing but our input voltage. Our input voltage is nothing but alpha t. Therefore, from this we can draw the output voltage. Output voltage nothing but will be similar to the input voltage. If the time constant is very small, output voltage will be similar to the input voltage with a small distortion. The distortion is nothing but alpha RC, where RC is very small. Therefore, this value will be also very small. Therefore, I have mentioned that there will be a small distortion. Okay, output voltage will be same as input voltage. Output voltage will be same as input voltage with a small distortion. That means if you draw the waveform, if suppose this is your input waveform, output will be also in same way it will go. It may have a small distortion. This distortion, that is this gap. Okay, in between you are going to find a gap. This is nothing but a alpha RC. How much distance you may have the input and output voltage. Suppose this is your input and this is the output waveform. Then in between these two we have a small distance, that is alpha RC. Okay, it will be almost both will be equal. Yeah, that means that point I had mentioned here. If the time constant is very small related to the total ramp time period, the ramp will be transmitted with minimum distortion. The ramp waveform will be transmitted. That means the output. Okay, the output of our low pass circuit. The ramp signal will be transmitted to the output with a minimum distortion. We have a minimum distortion at the output table. That we will see in our waveform also. While we are drawing the waveform also, we will see it. Okay, this is our first case. That is, time constant is very small. Time constant is very small. If we consider the way time constant is very large, if the time constant is very large, that is second case. Time constant very large means e power minus t by RC can't be neglected because this value is very large. Therefore, total value will be very small. 1 by small value. 1 by small value means the value will be very large. We should not neglect this term. Okay. Therefore, instead of neglecting this term, I have expanded. Okay. In same way as high pass also. We have done in the same way. If you recall your high pass circuit, we had do the same thing. Okay. This is in the form of e power minus x. E power minus x can be expanded as 1 minus x plus x squared by 2 factorial minus x cube by 3 factorial like this so on. Okay. This is in the form of e power minus x. Therefore, I have expanded. Okay. Once I have expanded and if I neglect the higher order terms, because RC value is very large, 1 by RC, that means T by RC. RC is very large, therefore the higher order terms get smaller. Okay, if I neglect the higher order terms, if I consider up to the second term, okay, if I consider up to here, the terms get cancelled, alpha T. Okay, you may have the alpha T and here also. Okay, when this alpha RC multiply with the T by RC, you may get alpha RC. Okay, alpha T. Okay, the terms get cancelled. Simply if you multiply this term and if you multiply these terms, you will find only remember that the remaining term will be alpha T square by 2 RC. Last term will be remain. Okay, alpha T square by 2 RC. Okay, alpha T square by 2 RC. This is our output voltage when the time constant is very large. Here also we have a small note that when the time constant is very large, if we transmit a ramp signal, we are getting a polynomial expression t squared, x squared. Okay, we are getting a parabola, simply nothing but a parabola. Okay, that is nothing but the integration of ramp signal. We are going to get an integration of ramp signal. Okay, therefore that is nothing but the condition. Next we will see next class. Okay, the condition for the low pass circuit to act as an integrator means time constant should be very large. When the time constant is very large, then low pass circuit is going to act as an integrator. When the time constant is very small, when the time constant is very small, high pass circuit is going to act as a differentiator. Okay, you have to keep it in mind. Okay, when the time constant is very small, high pass circuit, which we have seen previous, high pass circuit is going to act as differentiator. When time constant is very large, low pass circuit is going to act as integrator. Okay, we will see it in next class. Okay, but I have mentioned the point here. Okay, by this conclusion. Okay, here for a ramp signal, we are getting a parabola signal, which is an integration. Therefore, we can say that we can conclude, which we will see in detail while we are discussing integration topic. Whatever may be, here you have to keep in mind that for a low pass circuit, time constant should be very large in order to act as an integrator. For a high pass circuit, time constant should be very small in order to act as a differentiator. Okay, you have to keep in these 2 points. Okay, you may get in competitive exams or in our online exams also. Okay, when the high pass circuit may act as a differentiator, time constant is very large, time constant is very small, time constant equal to t, and none of the above. Okay, you have to choose that time constant is very small. Then only high pass circuit is going to act as differentiator. Okay, similarly for high pass, time constant should be very large. Okay, I think so. We will stop the class for today. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, we have seen the ramp signal. Okay, the output voltage for two cases. The time constant is very small and time constant is very large. Similarly, we have seen for the square wave. Today class we have discussed the for the ramp input and square input. Okay, tomorrow we will see the exponential. Tomorrow class we will see the exponential. Sorry, the output voltage. We have a small topic. Wait. Output waveforms for the ramp. Okay, this is for time constant very small. Okay, you see here. Okay, this is our ramp signal, output signal. Input signal. This is the output. Okay, it may be almost equal to the input with a small distortion of alpha RC. Okay, which we have seen previously. Okay, if the time constant very large, we have a large distortion. We may get like a parabola shape. If the ramp is increasing, it also increases like t squared by 2. Okay, t squared by 2 gets like this circle. Okay, it may get increased. Okay, therefore for a ramp we are going to get like this waveform. Okay, if the time constant is very large. Okay, time constant is very large, we are going to get like this waveform. Okay, if this ramp signal is increasing, like this we are going to get. Okay, t squared by 2, that is nothing but a t squared by 2, okay, which is some constant a, that is nothing but a alpha by rc. Okay, therefore this is your output waveforms. Okay, this is your output waveform for the ramp signal. Okay, next class we will see the exponential input and integrator, so that we can close these topics. Okay, we have closed the maximum 90% of first chapter is going to be complete. Okay, if you have any doubts regarding ramp and square, you can ask. Otherwise, I will close the session. No doubts? Okay, then fine. Join for next class. Okay.